pretty cool. We've got 53 degrees here in Tupelo, 55 down in Columbus, and 55 over in Ackerman. So the temperature, it is feeling pleasant out there. The wind is not very strong at all, so you're not going to be cold. Maybe just a light jacket. You're going to be able to take it off for sure. Going to warm up quite a bit, going into the mid to upper 70s as we head towards this afternoon, and I'll have the rest of tonight's forecast just in a minute.
The Magnolia State was hit hard with severe storms Friday night, and some of the worst damage is in the city of Winona. WTVA's Sammy Roebuck was there all morning on Saturday.
It was like something you would see out of a movie, honestly. Like, stuff you watch on TV you never want to be a part of. That kind of thing.
Sounds of chainsaws, generators, and construction fill the air of the 407 in Winona. A life-threatening tornado hit the area late Friday night. Purnell and her family took shelter underground.
And thankfully, my grandparents were already in a storm shelter waiting on us. And as soon as we got the door shut, it broke out. It was awful. All we could hear was just all the damage it was doing and a roar. I mean, they always say tornadoes have like a train sound. We heard like a roar, but it was so loud. Our ears were popping. It was crazy. My babies were terrified.
Just a loud noise. And then the glass started breaking, you could hear, and then we just started praying. And I was just thinking, I hope there's something above my head when this is over with.
Crews are working to repair what was left behind. But most of all, people are thankful they lived through it all.
We had something similar happen in 07. We lost our house by fire, not by tornado. So we were we're okay. That's all that matters, because that is stuff,
Flowers has lived in Winona for over half a century and is the former mayor of the town. Aaron Dees, the current mayor, is looking forward to what's next.
We're going to sit together. We're going to rebuild. We're going to build back greater. We're going to build back more powerful. The best is yet to come.
That was WTVA's Sammy Roebuck in Winona. Governor Tate Reeves traveled all over the state to visit those affected areas by the storms. Winona and Amory were just two of his many stops. Reeves walked from house to house, encouraging and visiting with folks who were hit by the tornado. He toured the damage all over the Winona area to better understand how to help. Reeves says his goal is to let people know that he's here to help them recover.
We'll walk up and down here and try to speak to people and really just try to encourage them and say, we will build back. We're here to support them. I've spoken with everyone from the president to the Secretary of Homeland Security to the FEMA director and local people and everyone in between today. And we're gonna stay united, and we're gonna rebuild this community.
After Winona, Reeves and his team traveled to Amory to speak with folks there. And President Joe Biden released a statement on Twitter yesterday about the devastation, describing the tornado damage as, quote, heartbreaking. He goes on to say, "We will do everything we can to help." President Biden offered full federal support to aid in the recovery. We've received countless photos and videos from viewers of Friday night storms, and after the break, we'll show you a couple, as well as what the current power outage situation is looking like as of this morning.
I need dinner.
We got McDonald's. Dad didn't come.
Get a free medium fries and medium Dr. Pepper when you buy any McCrispy. Only on the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Want luxury hair repair that doesn't cost $50?
This afternoon, 79. That is it's over 10 degrees warmer than what we usually are for this time of year. Our average temperature is around 66 for this time of March. So looking at storm tracker, as I mentioned, you probably saw on the last graphic that we had the sunshine for 3 o'clock. We have the cloud cover dissipating as we go throughout our day. So this is the storm I was talking about. It is definitely overdone over here. It is not that heavy right now on this radar. It is overdone, but that's just showing we do have a thunderstorm in the southeastern portion of our viewing area. But that is going to clear out, and we're going to have clear conditions for most of the day. But that's not going to be the entire day. Actually, if you're going to head out later on this evening, there is a possible severe threat that you're going to have to be looking out for. I'll time that out for you. So we have the clearing in the afternoon, but then 6:45 p.m. we're starting to see these individual isolated storms moving throughout our area. And there is a possibility that some of these could have some strong winds or even some hail with them. So there is a chance that you need to be looking out for later on this evening, especially after 6, between 6 to around 10 p.m. We could have those isolated showers and thunderstorms moving across, and we are in a marginal risk. You can see the risk is a lot greater as you go farther south. We have this region south of Meridian and Jackson, but just for our southernmost counties, right here we have Octibaha, also this is Winston, Noxubee. We have that slight, well, no, that's not slight, that is marginal, but the words are kind of confusing. But the green, that's level 1 threat for these risks behind me. Strong winds, possibly some large hail. An isolated tornado can't be ruled out, but it's a lot more likely as we go farther down south. Then afterwards, for the rest of our 7-day forecast, the conditions become a lot more calm. We're actually not expecting our next weather maker until Friday, but that's coming with another chance for storms. We'll have more on that as the week goes on.
And right now we're getting a live look at power outages on poweroutages.us. Anae, can you tell us more about what it's looking like power-wise in our state?
So we are having a lot less power outages than this time yesterday. Thankfully, we have around, well, not thankfully for the people who are without power, but yesterday we were seeing almost 20,000 people across the state with no power, but now it's just around 7,000. We have the power outages in Union County and Lee County for the most part have been resolved. The main area that we are still seeing the most of the power outages in our region is Montgomery County. Still have 3,000 people without power over there. And then also in the county next to it that was also hit pretty hard, Webster and Carroll, but that's a little outside of our area.
Yes. And like we were saying yesterday, especially those folks in Monroe County, there's been a lot of communication issues due to how hard they were hit. I know radios are still not working at the moment. So these numbers are probably higher realistically, as Anae was saying yesterday. Mm-hmm. But the silver lining to all this is folks are getting their power back, luckily. And we just, we pray for those who don't have power that hopefully it comes back on soon. You see a lot of video from us showing the damage we saw during Friday's deadly storms, but what did you see? Here's a look at some of the pictures viewers sent us. Let's take a look at this photo. This is from Dana Soper in Lee County. You can see that tree falling over a fence, nearly hitting that home to the right. That was a close one for them, for sure. Now let's take a look at this one right here. This tree destroyed a garage in New Albany. This is from Melissa Tate. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. And remember, you can send photos to us using our WTVA weather app. And this is a photo from Kimberly Witt in Smithville. You can see some of their shingles are off, thrown across the fence line. Up ahead, law enforcement had their hands full this weekend with storm damage, but amidst this disaster, they also had to respond to a domestic violence call that turned deadly.
Have you lost your right to vote due to a criminal conviction? 1 in 10 people in Mississippi are unable.
For tornado, Lowndes County Sheriff deputies were responding to a domestic violence call that turned deadly. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says deputies went to a home on Green Tree Drive shortly after 7:40 on Saturday morning. The sheriff says deputies found a 28-year-old man dead from a gunshot wound when they got to the home. Sheriff Hawkins says it appears that a woman and the victim were involved in an argument that turned physical. The whole incident happened on Facebook Live. Deputies arrested this woman, Kadeja Brown. She's charged with murder. Sheriff Hawkins says the gun used in the crime has been found, along with other physical evidence. No bond has been set at this time. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is one step closer to returning to work. What his plans are following his recovery after the break. Storms that swept through the state, leaving residents without power, some without homes, and some without loved ones. Plus, we heard from both Governor Tate Reeves and President Joe Biden on the devastation that happened across the South this weekend. And while first responders were focused on this turmoil happening this weekend, sheriff deputies were also responding to a domestic violence call that turned deadly.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
At 5:30 on this Sunday morning, we're getting a live look at Tupelo. Calm conditions out there. I think I maybe see a couple cars on the road. You can't really tell with this camera.
It is pretty hard to make out what's going on. We probably have some trucks driving down the road in the distance, but behind me you can see we are having mostly clear conditions across most of our viewing area. Just some cloud cover here in Tupelo and near Aberdeen, but there actually is one thunderstorm left in our viewing area. Severe thunderstorm watch that we had across central Mississippi and Alabama. So here, if you're in Pickens County, you're probably still hearing those rumbles of thunder or dealing with some rain, but thankfully that is moving out of our area pretty quickly, and we're going to be clear for most of the daytime. That's going to change for this evening. If you look at this travel forecast that I have, you see these thunderstorms. That is representing the isolated thunderstorms that we will have moving across our area. It's also going to be very warm later on this evening as well. But we are also going to be under a marginal risk for some of our viewing area. It's a lot higher as you go farther down south. So if you're going to be traveling near Jackson, keep that in mind for this afternoon.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is one step closer to returning to work. The Kentucky senator left an inpatient rehabilitation facility on Saturday and will return home this upcoming week. The 81-year-old fell at a D.C. hotel while attending a fundraiser more than 2 weeks ago and suffered a concussion and a broken rib. After his release Saturday, McConnell thanked people for their kind wishes and said he's glad to be home. Sources say it's unlikely Mitch McConnell will return to the Senate before members leave for their 2-week recess on April 1st. And former President Donald Trump held a campaign rally in Waco, Texas yesterday. Some familiar faces of the Republican Party turned out to support Trump. This included Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Trump's return to big-style rallies comes just days after he warned on social media of death and destruction if New York prosecutors arrest him. Trump predicted last weekend he would be arrested within days, but that did not happen. He has urged his supporters to protest if prosecutors charge him in alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. And after a 3-day strike that shut down classrooms in LA,
this evening as well, but we are also going to be under a marginal risk for some of our viewing area. It's a lot higher as you go farther down south, so if you're going to be traveling near Jackson, keep that in mind for this afternoon.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is one step closer to returning to work. The Kentucky senator left an inpatient rehabilitation facility on Saturday and will return home this upcoming week. The 81-year-old fell at a D.C. hotel while attending a fundraiser more than 2 weeks ago and suffered a concussion and a broken rib. After his release Saturday, McConnell thanked people for their kind wishes and said he's glad to be home. Sources say it's unlikely Mitch McConnell will return to the Senate before members leave for their 2-week recess on April 1st. And former President Donald Trump held a campaign rally in Waco, Texas yesterday. Some familiar faces of the Republican Party turned out to support Trump. This included Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida and Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Trump's return to big-style rallies comes just days after he warned on social media of death and destruction if New York prosecutors arrest him. Trump predicted last weekend he would be arrested within days, but that did not happen. He has urged his supporters to protest if prosecutors charge him in alleged hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. And after a 3-day strike that shut down classrooms in LA, union workers finally have a contract they can vote on. Lauren Posen has the story.
After a 3-day strike, an agreement the mayor, the district, and the union call historic and transformative.
It was a sacrifice, 3 days without pay, and the teachers sacrificed needs to mean something.
Fighting for justice! Fighting for justice! The union that represents the lowest paid workers in the nation's second largest school district just won a landmark contract, arguing they say that support workers deserve a higher standard of living in one of the nation's most expensive places to live. Here's the breakdown of the tentative deal. A 30% wage increase, exactly what the union wanted. In addition, retroactive pay between $4,000 and $8,000 for many employees, and a $1,000 bonus for everyone who worked during the pandemic. The average annual salary goes from $25,000 to $33,000. Also, 7-hour shifts guaranteed each day for special education assistance. That's up from 6 hours. And fully paid health care benefits for workers and everyone in their family.
This is an agreement that's going to make a lot of superintendents very nervous. And that's a good thing. That is the good kind of trouble we need. Elevate the bar. And in the process, elevate the people.
For 3 years, it's been a contentious battle with the district and union to get to this point. On Wednesday, Mayor Karen Bass stepped in to mediate.
And the fact of the matter is, the majority of SEIU 99 workers don't just work in our schools, they're LAUSD parents as well. And today, for too many hardworking people, working full-time is just too hard to put a roof over their heads and put food on the table.
Union members will now vote on the agreement. And although a deal is on the table, the conversation about better working conditions for its members is just getting started.
And it cannot be the end of the road because not everything has been addressed. So if we can start finding other ways and pathways to do so, we will do so. But if we're forced to strike again, we will.
New this morning in Pennsylvania, 3 people were found dead and 1 still unaccounted for after an explosion at a candy factory. Police say 1 person was found alive following a massive explosion at a candy factory in West Reading, Pennsylvania. At least 2 people were killed in Friday's explosion and 5 others are still missing. But during a press conference Saturday morning, police say recovery efforts are still underway and they are hopeful that others may be found alive.
During the overnight recovery efforts, 1 person was located alive, and rescue workers continue to search for any other possible survivors. The discovery of life of the overnight recovery efforts provides hope that others still may be found. The rescue workers are continuing their efforts to search the area thoroughly, utilizing specialized equipment and techniques to locate signs of life.
Parents at one daycare center in a Chicago suburb were told by staff that a gun went off inside of the center while children were present. Officials say that gun was brought by a 9-year-old student coming for after-school care. Leah Hope has more.
A South Holland daycare center is closed today. The center's owner and director tell ABC7 the staff is shaken by an incident yesterday afternoon. They say a 9-year-old student coming for after-school care set down his backpack and a gun inside the backpack went off. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We are told a staffer quickly moved the backpack away from the children and kept them safe and calm. A spokesperson for the village of South Holland tells us an investigation is underway related to an apparent potential discharge of a weapon at a facility located at 831 East 162nd Street, South Holland. Due to the involvement of a juvenile, further details cannot be released at this time. We have been able to confirm the child attended Greenwood Elementary School and had been picked up by the Happy Days daycare staff from the school. Today, administrators for the school shared information with parents saying, "We are aware of an incident that occurred at a local daycare involving a District 150 student. This matter is currently being investigated by the South Holland Police. Please know the safety of our students and staff is top priority in District 150. This parent of a Greenwood student who preferred to not use her name says she got a message from the school, but tells us she only learned a weapon was involved after talking with her child.
Just really shocked that they didn't let us know that it involved a weapon because that's really scary.
The daycare is expected to reopen Monday. The center directors declined requests for an interview, but say their prayers are with the child involved and his family. People are coming together to help the communities affected by Friday night storms. Ways you can help up ahead. Managers and enrollment and eligibility staff have already begun meeting with displaced community members. They say these efforts will continue. Medical center personnel will be able to quickly replace medications for veterans impacted by the tornadoes as well. The Department of Veteran Affairs is also bringing food, water, and other supplies to the site. And the First Baptist Church in Rolling Fork has started a fundraiser for the community via GoFundMe. The goal is to raise $50,000. You can donate with your name or anonymously. The link is below on your screen if you want to take a moment to take a quick picture of that or copy it down. And for more information, you can contact Pastor Britt Williamson at the number on your screen as well, 662-873-2862. And the city of Oxford is also helping out. They're collecting items to be delivered to areas affected by Friday night storms. The supplies needed include water, work gloves, flashlights, batteries, toiletries, blankets, and canned goods. You can drop these items off at Fire Station 1 on McElroy Drive. Oxford Mayor Robin Tannehill said in a social media post, quote, "Please continue to pray for those in recovery, for those leading in recovery efforts. We are #stronger together."
Next.
If we start to have these isolated pockets of showers and thunderstorms move across our area, it may not look very impressive, but along with that, we do have a very small risk for severe weather, but that will be clearing out by Monday. So that's only Sunday night is the only time that we're going to be worrying about anything like showers or thunderstorms, but there is the small risk for severe weather for our region. As you can see, it is definitely severe weather reports are definitely more, they're expected to be more numerous down farther south of Meridian and Jackson, but there is still a level 1 risk, so it's a marginal risk for the very southern portions of our viewing area south of Columbus, near Macon, Aliceville, Alabama. So if you are living down there, you will have to keep in mind that there is a possibility that some of those isolated thunderstorms moving across could come with some strong winds, possibly large hail, heavy rain. An isolated tornado can't be entirely ruled out, but it is definitely more likely down in that enhanced region that we had south of Meridian. So that's most likely not going to be an issue. Just keep in mind there could be some strong winds. That's for Sunday night. Then looking at the rest of our 7-day forecast, it is looking very cool and tranquil, which we definitely need after this weekend that we've had weather-wise. But Friday, we do have another weather maker coming in. We're not sure exactly what impacts are expected because it's so far out. Definitely be keeping you updated as the week goes on.
Mississippi, unfortunately, wasn't the only state that severe storms ripped through Friday night. Our friends over in North Alabama are seeing devastation as well. A major cleanup is underway in parts of the state after suspected tornadoes raced through the northwest part on Friday night and early Saturday morning. Dave Brazelton has the details.
Many residents of the Shoals woke up to severe damage to their homes and residences from last night's storms. Florence Fire and Rescue Station 2 was hit hard as most of their roof blew off the building. But that's not all.
We have multiple leaks, roof leaks throughout the building. And our maintenance shop has got some damage. We had some staff vehicles that were here on the property. 3 of those have damage.
Across the street, a series of antique shops felt the wrath of the storm. One of the shop's roof was completely removed and blown in another store's yard. One of the shop owners happened to be at the store when the storm hit.
I took cover in the building, and about that time you could hear the winds come in. You could hear the metal starting to pop and ripple.
Several neighborhoods saw the same fate, with down power lines, trees ripped from the ground, and debris scattered everywhere. The roof at Deschler High School took flight from the strong winds. The next phase for residents is to clean up and make repairs. Fire Chief Anderton reminds everyone in the area to be careful moving about the area.
There's a lot of debris in a lot of places. There's power lines down, trees down. Real easy to slip up on something that you don't realize. And we'll try to get the roadways opened up, and so you're able to travel and passes, a little better soon.
While the storms caused a lot of damage, so far no reports of any serious injuries or deaths. We'll be right back.
It's a very, very lucky thing to have birds at our school like that.
The shorebird is known as a kill deer. It landed on the 25-yard line a few days ago and so far has laid a handful of eggs on the artificial turf. The latest was Thursday after a track meet. Local bird expert Debbie McGuire is so grateful the coaches made accommodations for the nesting mother.
So the first barrier they used is the track coach put hurdles around the nest. And there were, at that time, 3 eggs. And then after the track meet yesterday, they discovered now there's 4 eggs.
If all goes well, the eggs will hatch sometime after Easter. Many of the students were unaware of the campus visitor. After all, it's not common for a kill deer to nest in a place best known for touchdowns.
Honestly, I think that's pretty cool how it chose Marina High School out of like all the other high schools. I think it's really good for them to like keep the bird safe, and then hopefully we can see the bird touch. I think it's cool. It represents us well. I think it makes us look good. Yeah.
Well, maybe Marina High School will see an undefeated season next year.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, speaking of outdoors, what can we expect heading out the door this morning?
So unless you live in Noxubee or Pickens County, Alabama, then most likely we're going to be dry this morning. And for most of our day, the temperature is very mild, just in the mid 50s for most of us. It'll be warming up quickly too. Like this afternoon, our high 79. It's really warm.
Yes, it's great weather to get outside. And like I was saying earlier, definitely go help people in those communities. I was in Amory yesterday, and I saw people giving out water bottles, handing out food to people. It was really great to see the community coming together. I mean, even though it's such a disaster, it really has brought the community together. So I say get out there, go help people today. Even if they're strangers, you'll be making a stranger's life much easier. And thank you so much for joining us this morning on WTVA 9 News Today. If you're just now waking up, tune in the next couple minutes.
In Tupelo.
It's the Hardy Star Deal Cup.
Hey, and thank you for joining us on WTVA 9 News Today. I'm AC Barker. Today is Sunday, March 26th. We are less than a week away from April, and I still cannot believe that. And also, I just realized our show next week is on April 1st. So,
oh, yeah.
Who knows? I may be doing something a little goofy. Y'all just wait for it.
That would be very fun. We are going to switch the morning and evening meteorologist. That could be something for April
Oh,
Fool's.
gosh, me and Gabe on April Fool's.
Oh, yeah, that would be fun. Yeah.
A federal judge and the Social Security Administration got fed evidence that proves that they are currently actively using dog whistles to accomplish this genocide. I'm just looking for the bitch who wrote the policy, because obviously these bitches are so clueless of reality or care about reality that they'll do anything for a fucking chick, including kill your mama, your sister, your cousins, or any goddamn body they see just because somebody told them to.
Looking behind me, we're starting off with some pretty clear, pleasant conditions. There's not much to see outside for most of us in Northeast Mississippi. Just within the last hour, we were looking at what was a thunderstorm moving out.
But bitch, I can take your contracts. You just make sure you got all the information filled out on your contracts like I do.
Of Noxubee and Pickens County, Alabama. Thankfully, that has moved on out towards the east pretty quickly. And then just south of them, they were experiencing even some storms that were under a severe thunderstorm warning.
Or you can stop me from having the ability to write contracts. Because I'm going to write them.
with some hail that was up to a quarter in size, strong winds, but that is moving out of our area for now, making way for some clear conditions and sunny conditions that we're going to be experiencing.
And you can call them written from God, this.
Once it started coming, it started shaking, and I ran to my tub to get in my tub, but it felt like it was pulling me up.
You scared of that bitch in Arizona. I get that bitch the beating that she deserved if she violated I.
Jenkins tells us she then moved to the closet, but the tornado tore holes in her wall. That's when she saw rain pouring into her apartment. I see you get a little emotional.
Yes, ma'am, because I've never been used to depending on staying with nobody until things get, until I get back.
This is a dumbass cop showing you now that you can stab a damn door with a butcher blade long enough to go through my entire body 4 times, and I'm not gonna move. I will sit there and let you stab the damn wall because I know you a fucking faggot. And you gonna go running, screaming, and hollering because you a fucking faggot. And when something happen to you, you gonna say, I'm scared because that nigga made me stab the fucking wall while sitting on a goddamn couch.
Long-standing places like Amory High School's football field look unfamiliar, and places like the Amory Skate Center are destroyed.
And I spoke with the owner of the Amory Skate Center, Miss Diane Hunt, and she said she doesn't know if she's going to be able to reopen or rebuild, or if anybody.
Excuse me, sir. I can only sit on the couch. It's your motherfucking arm stabbing the door.
Be able to make any more of those weekend night memories or any of those all-night skate memories.
Folks right now are without power and without water. Jenkins was getting something to eat from one of the several food trucks offering free food for those in need.
We've been asked several times how much it
I can only ask for my motherfucking property from your government. Your government can decide whether or not it's going to comply with my government that's on that piece of motherfucking paper.
And that kind of breaks my heart because whenever they ask us that, I'm just like, no, it's free. Like, we're here to take care of you guys, that's what we're here for.
JT Winters is part of Sunshine Ministries. He, along with Stand Firm Ministries, are giving out hot dogs, chips, and drinks while it's needed.
And that paper ain't told now, motherfucking soldier, that you had to kill some goddamn body without all the proof. You entitled to the fucking proof because you not the public no more. You the government protecting the public. So you check and double check and triple check before you shoot, motherfucker.
A resident in Monroe County, this storm literally hit too close to home.
We always hear these tornado warnings around this time of the year, but it never really strikes home until it actually happens.
Take your ass some motherfucking where else and self-liberators. Faggot!
That helps a lot because with our lights being off and they don't know how long they're going to be off, it gives us hope that we do have.
I'm over here talking about you, a motherfucking hero. Fuck you, faggot!
This has impacted everyone. In Amory, Daniela Oropeza, Chelsea Simpson.
You bring your bitch ass up in my grandmama's house, taking all motherfucking money. You're a fucking faggot.
In Monroe County, where 2 people were killed and many others lost everything. WTVA's Garner Montgomery has the story.
These bricks have been in Monroe County for decades until Friday evening storms swept them away. Several trailer homes were lifted and thrown several yards away. I spoke to one.
Move your ass over to the motherfucking sand, bitch!
I don't even know how to describe it. It was scary. Because all I know is we just started flipping. And we was down off in the woods. All I could see was trees. I really didn't know where we were.
They built your shit. They're building your shit over there right motherfucking now. Get your motherfucking socialists and take your bitch ass over there where they at.
And the scary part about it was me not being able to find my baby until she started crying.
In a nearby farm, 2 people lost their lives. An eyewitness says the tornado was right on top of them. Many people in this community lost everything, and right now the only thing they have is each other. Volunteers were here first thing Saturday morning to provide emotional support and help pick up the pieces.
Some of it is my memos of the church that I pastor, and I'm here to help give them some of my support and get them encouraged that God still loves them and God never changed, and He gonna fix the situation. We're gonna go on with our lives.
Disaster relief groups are accepting donations to help the people of Monroe County and everyone affected by the tornadoes in Mississippi. Reporting from Monroe County, Garner Montgomery, WTVA 9 News.
Search and rescue crews are looking for survivors after the deadly tornado that tore a 100-mile path through Mississippi, killing at least 25 people and leaving dozens more hurt. That deadly tornado first touched down near Sharkey and Humphreys counties. This is a look.
You over there building shit in the sand, and you done sold our ass to some motherfucking Asian death. You fucking faggot.
In the small town of Rolling Fork, the mayor there says his city is gone and at least 13 people were killed. The mayor says the tornado even ripped through his home.
It sounded like a freight train driving over my home, and it happened so quickly. By the time we responded to the alert, I got my wife, we got in the tub, covered our heads. By the time we did that, the storm was coming over, and all we could hear was the house breaking apart.
Dozens of people are hurt, and there were at least 4 people who were reported missing. This was the last time we checked, but that number could go up as people work to see if they're able to get in touch with their loved ones or if they need to report them missing. Up ahead, we have more storm damage. The city of Winona was torn to shreds by Friday night's deadly tornado. Footage of this devastation after the break. And at 6:08 this morning, we're getting a live look at 2.
Now watch your faggot ass kids try to protect your shit.
2 degrees and 2 below Mississippi. Right now, 53 in Houston, 56 down in Columbus. But we will be warming up rather quickly as we go on throughout our day. By 11 a.m., we're already at 70 degrees. And then by 1 p.m., 76 degrees. Our high for this afternoon is going to be around 79. That is a lot warmer than what we usually are for this time of year. Our average temperature is around 66 degrees. So it'll be a very warm day. We'll see a lot of sunshine during the day for the earlier part, but that will not be the case for all evening. I'll have more information on that coming up.
The Magnolia State was hit hard with severe storms Friday night, and some of the worst damage is in the city of Winona. WTVA Sammy Roebuck was there all morning on Saturday.
Don't tell nobody. Shh. It's a secret. Don't tell nobody.
That kind of thing. Sounds of chainsaws, generators, and
Pass out. Give out Purple Hearts for Asian death in Mississippi. Give out Purple Hearts.
construction. Fill the air of the 407 in Winona. A life-threatening tornado hit the area late Friday night. Purnell and her family took shelter underground.
And thankfully, my grandparents were already in a storm shelter waiting on us.
You gonna bring your bitch ass over here like you done did me a motherfucking favor.
Just all the damage it was doing. And a roar. I
mean, they always say tornadoes have like a train sound. We heard like a roar, but it was so loud. Our ears were popping. It was crazy. My babies were terrified.
Just a
You
loud.
supposed to, like Tony said, basically, you supposed to protect one basic motherfucking thing, and you sold the whole motherfucking thing to Asian death. Now you prove me wrong, motherfucker. You go prove to me that you ain't working for a bunch of motherfucking Asians that's making and selling you motherfucking medicine that's killing your bitch ass while you build up the Middle East. Prove you not doing that, motherfucker.
Flowers has lived in Winona for over half a century and is the former mayor of the town. Aaron Dees, the current mayor, is looking forward to what's next.
We're going to sit together. We're going to rebuild.
The burden is over, bitch. The burden is over. That's the charge, motherfucker. Answer.
Governor Tate Reeves traveled all over the state to visit those affected by the storms. Winona and Amory were just two of his many stops. Reeves walked from house to house, encouraging and visiting with folks who were hit by the tornado.
That ain't no two, motherfucker. I don't need that. Rosie needed that. I need that motherfucker's head.
Damage all over the Winona area to better understand how to help. Reeves says his goal is to let people know that he's there to help them recover.
We'll walk up and down here and try to speak to people and really just try to encourage them and say, we will build back. We're here to support them. I've spoken with everyone from the president to the Secretary of Homeland Security to the FEMA director and local people and everyone in between today. And we're gonna stay united and we're gonna rebuild this community.
After Winona,
you're a fucking faggot. You hide behind everybody else. Bitch, I sent the motherfucking order. It says who gave it. Your head, motherfucker. Your head.
The devastation, describing the tornado damage as heartbreaking.
And please, put your faggot ass president back to work trying to help some motherfucking body else. I know who motherfucking head I'm after.
Goes on to say, quote, "We will do everything we can to help." President Biden offered full federal support to aid the recovery. We've received countless photos and videos from viewers of Friday night storms, and after the break, we'll show you a couple, as well as what the current power outage situation is looking like as of this morning.
Why would you even hire another law firm? One call, that's all.
We love our pets, but we don't always love their hair, which is why we made Bounce Pet Hair and Leak Guard. With 3 times the pet hair fighting ingredients, just one sheet helps remove pet hair from your clothes. Looking good starts in the dryer with Bounce Pet.
Murphy Brothers and LS Tractor. We're your partner for more value, more features, and great service. LS Tractors have steel hoods, steel fenders, cast iron axles, cast iron differential, cast iron transmission. LS Tractors come with a 6-year powertrain warranty, and Murphy Brothers can back it up. Murphy Brothers and LS Tractors, your partner in the field.
At Weyerhaeuser, our most valuable resources aren't just the trees and timberlands we oversee, it's our associates. Because of them, Weyerhaeuser is one of the largest manufacturers and distributors of wood products in the world. Our state-of-the-art lumber facilities in Bruce and Philadelphia, Mississippi, and in Milford, Alabama, are currently accepting applications for salaried leadership openings and hourly openings. We offer competitive hourly starting rates, annual merit wage increase, medical, dental, and vision insurance, and much more. Come see why Weyerhaeuser could be right for you.
Do you have a home project you've been considering and looking for the right people for the job? Come out on April 14th and 15th to the Home Garden and Outdoor Expo. Come get expert advice for a home renovation, kitchen or bathroom remodel, outdoor features like pools, spas, or patios, home decor, furniture, flowers, and so much more. If you're building new, come visit with architects and contractors to make your dream a reality. Only $5 at the door at the Home Garden and Outdoor Expo in Tupelo.
Are you unable to work full-time because of illness, accident, or disability? Did you know that Social Security Disability Insurance can give you up to just over $3,000 per month in benefits? Call now. You may be entitled to Social
Well, as I know that
Security
motherfucking
benefits.
Constitution has not changed, and those fucking federal prisons are for combatants of the United States. That's it. You can't run them motherfuckers up in there because somebody done wrote a law and said some shit's illegal. No. Those federal prisons are to traffic motherfuckers that are a threat to the national economy. But you do that. Do that when a bitch come to me in my professional career and say, I need you to help me with this. Do that shit.
Handle all the filing for you.
It's not the case for the entire evening. I'm going to time that out for you. What's going to be going on later on? We can see those storms, the southeastern portion of our viewing area, moving on out towards our east rather quickly, leaving us with just partly cloudy skies and thankfully dry conditions for most of the day. By this afternoon, we get completely clear, and then
you started the pattern, bitch.
The entire region.
Sandbag, sandbag, sandbag. That is the order of the day for capitalism. Sandbag, sandbag, sandbag. And believe me, I got the perfect motherfucking sandbags. I have the perfect fucking sandbags. If you could find better sandbags at an attorney's office, I need you to show that attorney the fucking sandbags I got. I got sandbags. You might have a sandbag company that offers sandbags, but I got motherfucking sandbags.
Marginal risk for severe weather. So we're not expecting lots of reports, definitely not numerous reports, but what is possible is a few reports of some large hail, some strong winds, heavy rain, and an isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out, but that is definitely going to be more likely farther.
You can load them up, and trust me, it will not take me 300 years to get rid of my sandbags.
That we see for rain that'll be tonight, but then after heading on to the work week, we're going to be very dry and mild. Thankfully, we could use some calm weather after what we had this weekend, but another chance for storms actually coming up on Friday.
Let's talk about power outages now. You're getting a live look at poweroutages.us. If you're tuning in yesterday morning, this map was a lot more colorful, Anae.
Absolutely. Thankfully, we have gotten power restored to most of the counties in northeast Mississippi. We're seeing that yesterday, Prentiss and Union and Lee County had a lot more outages than they had today. We never really had an accurate figure on Monroe County because the specific providers that are being tracked on this map, they don't cover most of Amory. And we know there's a lot of power outages in Amory because of that destruction, unfortunately. But now Montgomery County is still the main county that has a lot of power outages in our viewing area. Still 3,000 people without power there.
So luckily we are seeing that number decreasing, and hopefully by this time tomorrow, maybe that'll be just an all blue map.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Our prayers go out to those who still don't have power. We know that is a struggle, especially since it's been well over 24 hours now. Thank you, Nick.
A cop took me to jail after my cousin told me I was. Hey, you at my house. What the fuck do you want me to do? Little white guy, little bit short white guy said he don't like what I said at my cousin's house and told me I was in the public.
That was definitely a close one for them. And then here's another picture.
I mean, me and dude you ever met somebody at a family reunion and they start explaining to you who they is and you stop listening the moment you realize I'm at a family reunion, they finna do this shit. I mean, this bitch is literally calling y'all dumb though, because y'all my cousins. So y'all got to be dumb.
Law enforcement had their hands full with this weekend's storm damage.
I cannot. No. But it is in fact true that any one of you bitches that picked up a newspaper and read that bullshit could have gone over to the to the police station and said, this cannot be true because that's my cousin. And he was over to my house. Police just showed up over to my house. Now, so he couldn't have been in the public because he was over to my house. And that, far as I know, is open to the public, but it's private. It's just open to it. It ain't theirs.
It's 5 a.m. and you've tried every pillow trick you know. You still wake up with crippling pain.
But look, you will not find that on the paper. That's just what he used to throw me in handcuffs because I wasn't finna hear the shit I was hearing when I know I didn't have to hear it. I came for a fucking party. I didn't come to entertain cops. So if you hear, bitch, you got to go. Period. And you still talking. This bothers me. I don't give a fuck who else over here letting you talk, bitch. Quit letting this bitch talk and I'm busy. Don't do that. But she kept on talking. Talked herself right on to the court and changed her story. I don't even know what the fucking charge was by the time we got to the court. But all I know was I was sitting at my cousin's house because he told me he was my cousin. And we was having a party. And police showed up, took me to jail, and couldn't figure out why they took me to jail until white boy walked down the hallway and said, I think he fell because I was finna hang myself in your jail so you could go to prison for doing that. Because you didn't know what Roger Lott was up to. But I wanted to make sure you did.
It's time to break your sleepless cycle with Nuzzle, the NASA-inspired pillow.
We blame Deb and Cam because the press caught.
That provides zero gravity support.
As well as Northridge and Garden Park subdivisions. Workers say the storm damaged the well, but it is back up. But remember to boil your water 1 minute before use until further notice. While many first responders were focused on search and rescue efforts after the powerful tornado this weekend, Lowndes County Sheriff deputies were responding to a domestic violence call that turned deadly. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins says deputies went to a home on Green Tree Drive shortly after 7:40 yesterday morning. The sheriff says deputies found a 28-year-old man dead from a gunshot wound when they got home.
Sir, I saw cotton become micro. You want to sell that shit to somebody else?
Sheriff Hawkins says it appears
You having treasury problems? Are you having treasury problems? Because I just sued Microsoft. I didn't sue the insider trade. You hear me, Columbia? Because I didn't do that. Those dog whistles. We trade our cotton in for internet, and we're gonna go at Microsoft, and we're sticking to it. See a lie, you stick to it. Stick to it.
Here's that a woman and the victim were involved in an argument that turned physical. The whole incident happened on Facebook Live. Deputies arrested this woman, Khadijah Brown. She's charged with murder. Sheriff Hawkins says the gun used in the crime has been found, along with other physical evidence. No bond has been set at this time.
I didn't charge you, bitch. I found it. I didn't charge you.
Is one step closer to returning to work. What his plans are for the future following.
You bitches really don't get.
Hey, America.
So you bitches really don't get that every step that I took, I left a big gaping ass hole for law enforcement to fall in because they are fucking worthless faggots. Yes, one man just walked. Look, see this? I'm gonna step. My foot red chip. Now that's where your foot's supposed to be. Back here behind me, my foot ain't got no business up there. Because your foot's supposed to be rich here, preventing the necessity for my foot to go up there. Kind of like the Congress having the right to Genocide Control Act. If the fucking police officer understood the Rural Drug Enforcement Act in 1992 and took his ass over to the fucking hospital instead of coming over here to Churchill, then we probably would need the Genocide Control Act.
Free in your favorite app store.
When the Murrays discovered gain scent beads, they fell in love with the irresistible scent. So did their dog Roger. Gain scent beads keep even the stinkiest stuff smelling fresh.
If something happened to you, what would happen to them? Their home, their education, their future. You need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can help you get it for less than $1 a day.
SelectQuote found Jacob 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates.
We found Gary, 35, a $1 million policy for only $22.
You finna spend that SARS and Rwanda money, and you finna spend that money at home or kill me, motherfucker.
Why pay more?
Reeves and President Joe Biden on the devastation that happened across the South this past weekend. And while first responders were focusing on this turmoil, sheriff deputies were also responding to a domestic violence call that turned deadly this weekend.
Live, local, late-breaking.
Something.
The union that represents the lowest paid workers in the nation's second largest school district just won a landmark contract, arguing they say that support workers deserve a higher standard of living in one of the nation's most expensive places to live. Here's the breakdown of the tentative deal. A 30% wage increase, exactly what the union wanted. In addition, retroactive pay between $4,000 and $8,000 for many employees, and a $1,000 bonus for everyone who worked during the pandemic. The average annual salary goes from $25,000 to
Dumbass faggot, quit asking for money from your fucking government and go get a goddamn job. I have one called the Community Helper Program, where you as an individual can actually prove your individual claim and make the claim and just get a fucking check, rather than you go through this whole courtroom process that you and your buddies done got together to cut your dicks off. But believe me, I have a sandbag for your ass to carry, you worthless bitch.
$33,000. Also, 7-hour shifts guaranteed. That's up from 6 hours.
That's prisoners who want to suck my dick.
And fully paid health care benefits for workers and everyone in their family.
This is an agreement that's going to make a lot of superintendents very nervous. And that's a good thing. That is the good kind of...
You goddamn right. This motherfucking government shook you, bitch. If you want to work with me, you help me shake this motherfucker down.
Problem we need. Elevate the bar. And in the process, elevate the people.
For 3 years, it's been a contentious battle with the district and union to get to this point. On Wednesday, Mayor Karen Bass stepped in to mediate.
And the fact of the matter is, the majority of SEIU 99 workers don't just work in our schools, they are LAUSD parents as well. And today, for too many hardworking people, working full-time is just too hard to put a roof over their heads and put food on the table.
Union members will now vote on the agreement. And although a deal is on the table, the conversation about better working conditions for its members is just getting started.
And it cannot be the end of the road because not everything has been addressed. So if we can start finding other ways and pathways to do so, we will do so. But if we're forced to strike again, we will.
Happening in Pennsylvania, 3 people were found dead and 1 person still unaccounted for after an explosion at a candy factory. Police say 1 person was found alive following a massive explosion at a candy factory.
I guess it's Sunday, and for some people, multiple people in this country, they love to reverence their God on a particular day. And for all of you who have just done so, amen.
In West Reading, Pennsylvania, at least 2 people were killed Friday.
No matter how angry I get, but God gonna use us God is gonna use us for good. And I don't even want to try no other place. I love how America keeps proving God is right.
Explosion and 5 others still missing. But during a press conference Saturday morning, police say recovery efforts are still underway, and they're hopeful that others may still be found alive.
Yeah, I'll let you go.
During the overnight recovery efforts, 1 person was
It's called genocide, 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 genocide. Ugh. Did she? She might have, child. Ugh.
See my way through, but the Lord, He brought me out. I gotta